In this video, we'll look at time series graphs. A time series graph represents data that has been collected over a specific period of time. For example, we'll look at the price of an advertisement during the Academy Awards. The data show the average cost in millions of dollars of a 30-second television ad on the Academy Awards show. Draw and analyze a time series graph for the data. So here is our data, the years from 2010 to 2015, and the costs from $1.4 million to $1.9 million. Our solution, step one, we draw and label the X and Y axes. So here are my X and Y axes. I have the cost along the Y-axis and the year along the X-axis. Then we label the X-axis for years and label, it says draw and label in the first step, so why we're labeling again, I don't know. But whatever the case, after we've drawn, we label the X-axis for years and the Y-axis for cost. Step three, we plot each point for the values shown in the table. I plotted the points in red. And then in step four, we draw line segments connecting adjacent points. We do not try to fit a smooth curve through the data points. We just want to draw line segments. So I've drawn my line segments in blue. And the data shows that there has been an increase in price every year over the time period we're looking at. When you analyze a time series graph, look for a trend or pattern that occurs over the time period. Is the line ascending or descending? In this graph, it was always ascending. Is there a large slope at some point, indicating rapid change? So two or more sets can be compared on the same graph, called a compound time series graph. So here's a graph that talks about elderly in US labor force. The upper line is men and the lower one is women. This graph shows that the percentage of elderly men and women shows the percentage of elderly men and women in the US workforce over 50 years. We can say some things about it. For example, elderly women's employment went slightly down from 1960 to 1980 and then started going up slowly until 2010, whereas the number of men employed between 1960 and 1990 was cut better than in half, and then it started to increase slightly as well.